I am an adult, or at least I am of adult age. I'm a father. Yet, if I want to get up at midnight and eat three ice creams, I can do it, and there's nobody to stop me. Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Sometimes I think about that. Yeah, I can do pretty much whatever I want now. I have some financial means to do it, and well, nobody can stop me eating ice creams at midnight. But probably my liver and my stomach will give me some warning that it's probably not what I should do. And it's kind of like the same with watches. Nothing seems to stop me except the negative balance on my bank account to accumulate many of them. But most importantly, it seems like it is consuming my every thoughts most of the time that I'm awake, and probably I'm dreaming of them at night as well. In the evening, I think about it and I reorder my collection in my head, or think about what I could add or subtract to it, and it helps me fall asleep. It would certainly make everybody else fall asleep if they could listen to what's going on in my head. And most of the time of the day, I just think about watches, and it seems to be ever so consuming. And not only that, but it seems that it feels like a positive thing, of course, because we're fueled by social media, YouTube videos, collection reviews on Hodinky, and it seems like a very positive things are full of good feelings. So we're fueled to go on with it, with this obsession. But where does it stop? And the more you're accumulating, buying, selling, the more you seem to attract first world problems about watches breaking, the risk of getting them stolen, damaged, having to service them, or putting money down for an order for a watch that you haven't seen yet. You've only seen a sketch, and it might take a year or more to be done by a guy who's working on his own. You don't even know where, you don't know him, you just know that he's the next big thing. And you worry about those things the whole day. Where does it stop? Don't you find, guys, that this hobby, as we call it, is ever so consuming and making us act like spoiled children? As I was making that comment when I was at the Omega boutique, picking up my my Omega 321 caliber. Such a cool thing. They recreate with a tomography, an X-ray, the exact same caliber as they were doing 70 years ago. Wow, what a novelty idea. I mean, you say that to someone who doesn't care about watches, he will think you're insane. But it's mostly about, the ever-consuming nature of it. And sometimes I'm thinking, damn, it's not just about the money, but I mean the money as well, because then you're thinking about your bank account. How can I move this money there? What should I sell? Should I sell these stocks to finance a watch purchase? It pervades, it infiltrates every aspect of your life, and you want to share it with your friends, with your kids, and you want them to love what you love. It is just non-stop, and sometimes you get watch burnout, and I felt it last year. And now again, I'm on a high, and I'm looking at adding watches. I didn't want to buy any watch this year. I already bought 3, and I have 2 more on order. It just never ends. And when I look at my other hobbies that make me happy, tennis, for example, I love tennis. Well, I spent a couple of thousand Hong Kong dollar on 2 Williston rackets some 5 or 6 years ago, and they're amazing. Apart from restringing once in a while and buying balls, renting the courts. I mean, there's not a big cost associated to it, and I play with my buddy every Sunday. And the minute I'm on the court, I have a big smile, and if I miss a shot, I just think about making the next shot better, and I just enjoy every second of it. But I don't think about tennis after tennis is done. I mean, afterwards, I'm on a high. I'm really happy I played well, did a few aces, maybe a few great shots. But then I move on with my day. Just book the court for the next week, and that's about it. Maybe I'll watch a couple of games during the week on TV, talk about it with my son. I enjoy teaching him tennis as well because he's asking for it. But we don't obsess about it the whole day. He does talk about it quite a lot, and he wants to improve, which is great. But it's not. There's no cost to associated to it, and it doesn't take away from the rest of your life. It's a positive thing. Guitars were kind of like, for me, like watches. I always looked for the next hit, the next one. And with guitars, you're buying the dream, you're buying the rock and roll dream, of course, and you want to have the same guitar as this and that artist. You want to learn to play the same songs. And God forbid, if you start writing your own songs, then that is becoming a full-time job. It takes over your whole life because you're constantly thinking about music, and you want to record little bits here and there, improve the bass and on the recording and all that. So it's very creative. You're not relying on the creativity of others. Once you pick up a guitar, it's a great escape. You only think. You forget all your problems and you can create something, and I always found it a great escape. And once you find that great guitar, and it's the same with watches, you got to try a lot of things, and the first ones you're going to buy probably you're going to sell, but you have to go through that journey of going with the affordable stuff, and then you get to the more expensive stuff, and it's a rabbit hole with guitars. And luckily I found the one I really loved. After that I bought just another one, and then that was it. But I do keep a few that I'm collecting, some rare things. But I've put an end to the spending on sound as well, amplifiers and pedals. And in the end, I go on stage with my little band here, cover band. And every time I remove one pedal, every time we play, until I just have the tuner and maybe one phaser on stage, and that's and just make do with that after purchasing so many pedals emulating Marshalls. Well, if there's a Marshall in the back line, I just plug straight into it, and that's it. And you come full circle. And I kind of put an end to that. I listen to music every day. It's still it's a love, but I wouldn't call it an obsession. I don't obsess about it every day like I'm obsessing about watches. So let me know a bit, guys, in the comments. Do you realize sometimes how much you're thinking about your watch assortment, your watch collection? How much do you think? How much money have you made maybe with watches? When I look back, when I started, I was making great deals, and the first watches I bought, nice watches I bought, I managed to sell them even without losing any money or making some money. And then it progresses until you want to buy watches at full retail, because you just gotta have it. And as I said, you buy watches you haven't seen yet. You're already putting down the deposit or the full amount, and the watch is not even built yet. And you're relying on those guys in Switzerland to eventually get it together. Things can move quite slowly. Especially, you'll find out once you've paid someone, things go a lot slower. People work faster if they need the payment to come. One good lesson in life as an aside. But yeah, where does it go? Where does it end? And how do you stop it? Do you just buy the grail, the perfect watch? But as we know, it never happens. You think you have it, and then as soon as you have it, you've had your fix, and you're just looking for the next one. And even if you have the grail, you're still going to add side pleasures, because every watch is great. Every single watch ever made was made by someone who thought someone would appreciate it. Even a $5 watch made in China, they think a kid somewhere in Arizona is going to be excited to buy it. And there's excitement to it. It's toys, and we are adult kids, and we are behaving like kids. And sometimes I do feel like my kids are looking at me wondering, Dad, are you behaving like I am? You're supposed to be the guy telling me, no, don't eat this, don't buy that, save your money, and every week, Daddy, you have a new watch on the wrist. Are you okay? You have a watch with literally a Cyclops monster on it. Did you buy that for me? Because I don't think you should, Daddy. um, yeah. Food for thoughts for now. I don't know. I don't have the answer. Maybe the answer is yeah. Slow down, because it is a rabbit hole, and as I've tried to explain before, maybe get a nice one quickly, get a nice Rolex quickly before you have 10 Longines, Hamiltons, 10 watches with the same caliber inside, the same machined ETA inside. Maybe gets a machined Rolex, but it's something a bit more substantial, and it goes a long way already to in your journey, but then you look at vintage, and there's all sorts of rabbit holes, and of course independence. You want something different than everybody else, and then you want complications, and yeah, often when you buy a complication, it's really that you're buying some complications, and we make our life more and more complicated. And that's the other thing about it, is that I meet watch guys, and yeah, we're excited about some watches, about the new releases and all that. But at the same time, we complain a lot. Oh my God, this watchmaker couldn't fix my watch. It wasted time. And then I spent that much to have it fixed by the brand. Oh, the brand kept my watch for 6 months. Oh, I bought this one, but now he's making that one. And oh, why didn't I buy this one? We just make ourselves miserable with this thing, don't we? It feels like we're really making ourselves miserable a lot of the time, just buying more trouble than we really thought we needed. So I want you to reflect on that. I want myself to reflect on that. What do I? Of course, I enjoy every watch here, and I have a knack for buying things that are quite different and complementary. So you kind of feel like you can't part with any of them, because they form a whole. But there's always a hole. They form a hole with a W, but there's always a hole, HOLE, always one missing. And the brands are very good at making you want something you didn't think you wanted the week before. And if you think about it, you've lived X years, in my case, more than 40 years without something. Why is it that now I must have it? Isn't it? Why do I have to have this new model from this brand? I lived perfectly fine without it for 40 years. Why is it that I have to have that? And will it be meaningful to me in 10 years? Will it be meaningful to my kids in 30 years? I mean, the thing is, we often regret that our dad didn't buy this and that watch, and that we would inherit from it. So we are interested in watches. It's good to be vigilant and maybe look for something that will be interesting in the future. But who knows? Who knows how things will evolve? And that's why our dads didn't buy that watch, is because they didn't think anything of it. They didn't think anything about that manual wind Daytona. When they saw on the flea market in the village. Man, it's going in every direction, and that's the problem. The brain goes in every direction, and the fear of missing out on things, and all the trouble that associated with it. Do I have the right strap? Should I wear my 1,000-meter diver that costs $10,000? Should I wear it at the beach? Am I gonna damage it? Oh man, I think our forefathers used to buy one watch and wear the hell out of it, and we are overindulgent with this thing, and I don't know how to stop it. Let me know if you guys know. Bye bye.